Hey, before we get started, I want to let you know about Buzzsprout podcast hosting. Right now, you can get a free $20 Amazon gift card when you sign up for any of their paid plans. It's what I use to host this podcast, but it's also what I recommend because they're extremely easy to use. They have really fair pricing. They price per hour instead of megabytes. It's free to start, so you get up to 90 days for free if you want. Customer support is really quick and awesome. You get a nice website player that you can embed. You get a nice website as well. They are constantly coming out with new features. They just added in an affiliate marketplace. They are about to update their stats, and they've done a ton of stuff just in the last year. So I highly recommend them, and you can go to buzzsproutdeal.com to get that free $20 Amazon gift card when you sign up for one of their plans. So again, that's buzzsproutdeal.com. Hey, and welcome to episode 51 of the Podcasting Simplified podcast. My name's Ross, and today we're going to talk about WordPress themes and some of the best ones for podcasting. So way back in March and April of 2018, episodes 13 and 14, I talked about the best WordPress hosting for podcasters and the best WordPress plugins for podcasters, but I haven't talked about WordPress themes yet. So it seems like it's about time. And we're going to run through several. Some are specific for podcasting, and then some are more general, but I think are great and work well for podcasting as well. So just kind of get a little background here. There's the thousands of different WordPress themes and tons of different developers that make them, but there's really only a few good theme makers and ones that are constantly updating and have a focus on speed, SEO, and things that are just important for having a WordPress website. Now, keep in mind that you can really use any theme for podcasting because all you really need to do is embed your podcast player on a page or on a post or anywhere you want, really, and then your website can be set up for podcasting. But we're going to start with a set of themes from Second Line Themes. I think these are the top people who make podcasting themes, and they have a series of, I think they have 5 themes right now, and they're really designed for podcasting. They come with a built-in player, and they're just designed around the workflows of podcasting. So the first one is called Gumbo, and it really lets you put your audio front and center right up top. You get a nice player, the episode and description, and there's multiple player options. So whether you need one in a header or in your show notes or really anywhere else, you can do that. And then all of the Second Line themes support Elementor, which is a page builder, kind of a drag and drop style thing. So you can actually add that on and then really customize these themes as much or as little as you want. No coding is necessary with any of them. And I think they all look great too. Now the next one is Dixie, and it really makes it easy for your visitors to listen and share your episodes. You can use any podcast host you want, so it's really up to you there. And then you can use their built-in player or embed one from your host. That's up to you as well. There's a bunch of options to display episodes, like single column, multiple columns. You can have a slider, infinite scroll style, and a bunch more actually. So it's really easy to configure all this stuff and customize it with the settings. And then again, they support Elementor, so you can customize even more there. Now, Satchmo, I think that's how you say it, is another one of theirs, nice and clean WordPress theme. And you can use any of the podcasting WordPress plugins to create a feed as well. So you can kind of tie in Seriously Simple Podcasting or PowerPress and kind of build out your website with those too. So you get a lot of flexibility in how you want to approach building your website, which is really nice. And let's see, we have Bolden. So this is really designed more for a podcast network, and they kind of put multiple podcasts, multiple shows front and center. And I think that's a great choice if you have a network or if you have multiple shows that you want to highlight on one website, on one page. That makes a great way to go. They can be organized in a carousel or a grid, and they have a bunch of different sorting options. So you can organize them however you want, and it has a nice modern design. Now, finally, we have Toussaint, and I really like this one. It's one of the newest ones from Second Line Themes, and it's nice, clean, modern design. There's a bunch of different layout options. So again, you get the sliders and carousels if you want them. There's a nice call to action right up top that you can have. So if you want to direct people to subscribe or sign up for an email list or something, you can have that front and center. Again, like all their themes, really easy to configure, supports Elementor, page builder, and yeah, they make it really nice player with Toussaint as well. So those are the highlight of the Second Line themes. Big fan of those ones, and you'll be able to check out them in the show description. You can hop over there and take a closer look at these, because podcasting doesn't always give you the best visual of these themes. So be sure and hop over there and check that out. Now we have another one called Podcaster. And this one is this theme has a ton of options. It supports Blueberry, seriously simple podcasting, and has kind of a cool parallax scrolling effect for header images. You can highlight your latest episode right on the homepage, and then people can dive into further episodes. And I just wanted to highlight another one that was specific to podcasting that I thought was pretty well done. Now I'm going to go into some non-podcast specific themes, and these are ones that I use regularly. Podcastinsights.com is built on StudioPress, so that'll be the first one we're going to highlight. And StudioPress is a framework, and they have a bunch of themes that you have to purchase them. So the framework of Genesis is what it's called, is kind of the back end, and it's built for speed and SEO, and everything kind of gets updated there. And then your theme sits on top of it, which is kind of the design and style, but you can still update the main Genesis framework as they continue to make updates. And it supports Gutenberg, which is WordPress's newest post and layout editor. So I highly recommend checking out StudioPress. There's a bunch of different themes, and you can kind of choose what works for you design-wise. And they're well supported. They have really good documentation, and I've been using them for years and years. And they are regularly coming out with updates, which is awesome. Now the next one is GeneratePress, and this one is kind of one that I found after I had been using StudioPress, and the reason was that a lot of people recommended it because it was one of the fastest, but also easily customizable themes. So you can easily adjust your page width and kind of what you need. If you want a little header bar or not, you can adjust basically everything, colors, you name it. So they have a free version and a premium version, which adds all the features that you really need. It's $50. So not a lot in the scope of WordPress themes. And really, it's what I've kind of been moving to because it's so easy to customize and then it's fast. They have an importable demo content, so you can easily get a website on a template, so it's easy to update with your content, and you can kind of see what it will look like without having to start from scratch. So I like that. It also supports Elementor and other page builders as well. And there's a pretty active forum, so if you have questions on how to do little things, that is easy to find. So those are the two non-podcast specific themes, StudioPress and GeneratePress. And of course, you can embed your podcast players right on pages and posts and categories, and that's exactly what I do. So it's really up to you how you want to go. I would just go with kind of what the design looks like first and what functionality you need. Maybe compare some of these and then make a choice from there. But again, I would recommend going with a proven company like one of these and not kind of one of the free ones you find in the WordPress, I don't know what it's called, dashboard, or some of the other ones you'll find on some marketplaces, but they sometimes get bloated with tons of extra features and it makes them slow, and I'm just not a fan of those. So that's my 2 cents and my feedback there. So I hope that was helpful. Some WordPress themes for your podcast. There's some additional resources, of course. If you need WordPress hosting, we'll have a link to the WordPress plugins page if you missed that episode. some email service providers, which tie in nicely with the website. And then, of course, podcast hosting, so you can have a podcast. So I'll link to those additional resources as well. And you can check out this full post. So take a look at that in the description. But otherwise, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.